What's up, everyone? It's me again, Lord Knight. I'm, let's say, again, testing out my camera, this time on me, instead of a random picture. I think this week I wanted to cover a few questions from my thread, in case you don't go on Dustloop a lot or anything. You may or may not know about, the gameplay question thread I have, and I guess a couple questions piled up, like 4 or 5, so I want to respond to those this week. As usual, if you have any questions of your own, you could post either in the thread. I actually really prefer on the thread. If you want to post it on the YouTube comments, that's fine, but that thread is specifically for like BlazBlue questions. So I'll link it in right under video. I'll make like a little annotation like right here, right here for it. There's not really, as far as news, BD news, I don't think there's anything big that happened really. There was I went to a tournament on Saturday. I went to a tournament on I went to a tournament on Saturday, the Team Stickbug tournament, which was supposed to be teams, but it snowed on October 29th, so we didn't have that big of a turnout. It was pretty good. The quality of the video was a little choppy, thanks to, I don't know if it was, I think it was Next Level's internet that made it a little bit bad, but most of the matches are still watchable. SKD's there, Omniscythe is there, there's a Platinum player there, his name escapes me at the moment though. Well, my bad, but like he was alright. There was also a Bang and Hakumen duo there, but they peaced out early because the tournament didn't start like early enough for them or something. But whatever. There's also, for your people like Guilty Gear, there's Guilty Gear and stuff. I'll link that also right below, right here. So, first, I guess I should start with these questions. Alright. So, I don't think that's the first one. Okay. No, not that. So Romy or Homie asked me, how do you work on spacing in terms of anti-airing properly and knowing what move will counter against theirs? That's kind of strangely written, but whatever. He has a hard time when he's playing against Platinum or other characters with short reach. Platinum doesn't really have a short reach, so I'm a little confused, but as far as, well, I know you play Lychee. He plays Lychee, so as far as him specifically, the problem, Lychee's, I shouldn't say problem, kind of a problem. Lychee doesn't have like a one-button anti-air. Lychee doesn't have, say, a Makoto 6A or a Platinum 2C or something that she could just go to when someone jumps at her. You have to really know what matchup, like who you're playing against, character-wise, and what specifically works against them. Like, Itsu will always work. Itsu will always work, like, if they're at the right range, but you won't always get that convenient positioning. So you just have to really be aware of the way the opponent's moving. I know it sounds a bit vague, but the best thing I could say is the easiest way to anti-air opponents is to watch the actual opponent's character instead of your own and how they move. For Lychee especially, because say his example, he says he has a hard time anti-airing Plat. Well, Lychee can't anti-air Platinum. Lychee has like no anti-air versus Platinum. 5B is a ghetto 1 at best. Like you don't actually have anything. The way you control Platinum is by putting the staff down and aggressively moving towards her space. A little bit outside of 5B, not outside of 5B range, outside of 2B range, wary of 3C, and wary of 2B. on other characters, say Ragna, Light Chief, she's at the right range, she could 5A anti-air him. But if he's spacing JC from max range, you can't do it. And if he's scared of you putting the staff down, he's gonna try to get behind you with jump B, and your 5A won't beat it, but your 2A will. So you really have to be quite aware of how the Ragna, or how any character in general, actually moves. As far as other characters go, you can just use their one button anti-air. It's really nice to have one. When I play Makoto and I just have 6A, I'm so happy. They're jumping at me. What do I do? Just one button. Depending on what character you're using, you may or may not have that luxury. Yes. So next, I always feel like there's way more. Yeah. See, I read this 5 minutes ago, and I thought I saw 3 or 4. Okay. Oh, this is really good. Zeph asked me a question. Whose theme is playing, by the way? Oh, Caster. Oh well, we just sit through it. Zeph asked me a pretty good question about how to go about learning combos when you're learning a new character. This might be important for some people as EX is coming, because I don't know who's switching or who's not, but when learning a new character, you obviously have to relearn everything, or most things. So Zeph asked me, when I'm learning or practicing combos, do I really go in? I'll read it the way he wrote it. Okay. When you are learning or practicing combos, do you go really in depth with the testing of the combos, like against every character and any minor adjustments? And do you try to learn every single known combo for each situation? Or do you just kinda know the B&Bs off each hit or spot on the screen, and from there just wing it for what you know will work or what you think you know will work? Caster's theme sucks, so I'm changing my room playlist real quick. There you go, a little bit more quiet. Alright. That's a really important question, because I guess by the time you get good at the game, you'll just understand how to do this. But as you're rising in skill level, this becomes a problem. It depends what character you're using too, but for me, I tend to try to split the combos into parts, and generally the guidelines I use for these parts are what the initial pro rate is, like the initial hit. If the initial hit is really good, I'll try to go for the best possible combo for that situation. After initial hit, there would be where am I on the screen? Of course, I'd be mid-screen, near corner, or corner. It does vary for some characters. Like Makoto doesn't really care whether she's about near the corner. She just has mid-screen and corner. But Lychee kind of cares about near the corner in this game. I think character specific stuff comes last, because usually, for the most part, if you're, say for example, you get a really good hit as your initial hit in the corner, then it won't matter. For the most part, it won't matter what characters you're comboing against. There are specific situations where it does. The other reason why I learn myself, why I learn the combos like that, is because there are some hits that you always do the same combo no matter what. So, for example, when I picked up Makoto in June, the first combo I learned with her was how to combo off her overhead in the corner, because I figured I'd be using that combo a lot, and I do. So if I was going to put it into a short framework, I would say first learn the combos that will definitely always be the same no matter what. So these are probably just the moves you're gonna likely get a lot of hits, like your overheads in the corner, your throw, mid throw, air throw, corner throw, that kind of stuff. Then learn the um, the the good pro rate, I should say great pro rate, initial pro rate combos, mid screen and corner, and then definitely learn like your B&Bs, just off random hits and stuff. The combo parts, the way I tend to split up my combo parts is, if I get a random hit, I'm saying, really good pro rate, initial pro rate, then like decent, which would be an average, like a 5B starter or something, and then like cruddy, like a bunch of 2As, 2A 5B, or a jumpy 2A 5B, like too much stuff at the start. Once you get that down, then it's really easy to just make up a combo, because essentially I am winging it, but it's from a structure, so it's predetermined, even though it's freestyling a little bit. Plus, you should know later, the last thing you should learn about combos, if there's any, let's say, esoterics of your character that will help out your hit confirm. Let's say for Lychee, her staff, when you set it and launch it, on air counter hit, it's totally untechable. Even the returning hit is untechable. So if you get a counter hit, if you use it as an anti-air and get a counter hit, and you somehow hit them back into the returning hit of the staff, you can still keep comboing a little bit more. So that kind of stuff you should save for later. Let's see here. Is there anything else? Gordon asks, do I honestly think Valkenheim is S tier in this game? Yes, he is S tier in this game. And if you want to know why, if you want to know my whole opinion of the tier list, then click here. This is a really good idea, and I'm going to use that. But in short, Valkenheim is too good. Valkenheim is... Valkenheim. Just so, his anti-air is so good, his control of the screen is so good, his mix-up is so good. If he has a weakness, it's just he doesn't really have a reversal, which who cares when you're just destroying them 90% of the time anyway. You can't see his mix-up ever. And his damage is like okay. His damage isn't like high, really high. It's, let's say, averages, but just his ability to move you to the corner and put you in mix-up is so good. I'd definitely put him as the second best character in CS2 for sure. He's easily one of the most underrated characters in America. People are still crying about Noelle and stuff, but Noelle has her own power, but Val could crush Noelle. Straight up crush Noelle. He's almost in a league of his own. I was wondering if I had anything else on my mind personally. Every time I check this thread, I feel like there's way more questions than there actually are, which is strange. Oh, Wolf Crimson. I don't want to know ignore this guy. Wolf Crimson asked me, what do I think of the... I'll read it. From now on, I'm just gonna read the post. Hey, okay. What do you think of the system and universal changes in BlazBlue C-Sex? Like the universal limit of A strings to 3 5As or 2As, countersalts taking up primers, and the subsequent loss of primal remove. I feel like I talked about this last time. I definitely did. That's bad. Okay. I'm going to Actually, I want to talk about countersalts. Actually, that's important. Maybe I'm behind, but I realize you like lose a primer, like like the game takes a primer away from you, as in you don't get it back. I was under the assumption that you just lost a primer and you just gain it back as if your opponent took a primer off. That has a little bit more impact on the game than I realized. I kind of understated this last week because I actually looked at someone after they used counter assault. That is, I mean, for characters like Valk, for characters that don't have reversals, that's gonna hurt. Because for a character of just like a DP, they don't need to counter assault to get out. For a character that doesn't have reversal, they give up one primer to get out. And most characters without reversals also have 4 primers. Like Valk only has 4 primers. Carl has 4 primers. I wouldn't say Carl has a real reversal. He has like ghetto stuff, but not like a real reversal. Even like Rachel, like all these characters that have only like ghetto stuff to get out, if they want a solid way to get out, they have to lose a primer permanently. I really don't know how I feel about that. I think people who have weak defense and rely on counter assault a lot are gonna have a lot of problems next game for sure. It definitely compensates though for less moves taking primer, but I'll really have to see how that develops. That I didn't actually realize that. I'm really glad they didn't keep the burst gaining 25-meter thing in the game. That's good. But yeah, for now I'll cut off the show for this week. I do want to say NEC is coming up, which is probably going to be the biggest, not only one of the biggest CS2 tournaments, but also the last one for CS2, the last big tournament for CS2. So I really hope you guys, if you can't come out to it, definitely tune in. I'm sure Stickbug will be streaming and or recording the tournament. I managed to win last year, so here's hoping I could pull a repeat, if you will. Also, support Broken Tier. I'm wearing Broken Tier shirt. And then follow Kugi on Twitter. I wonder if I can do that. Twitter. Here's the Broken Tier website. Here's my Twitter. I should put that at the start too. Next week, I don't know. The next week's vlog will be up to you guys. I haven't been around anywhere recently, so no travel. Oh, I have some Summer Jam footage. If people want to see that, I'll just upload it. But alright, I'm signing up.